Legends of Ren Zu, the Human Ancestor, was not only this world's most well-known legend, but also its oldest. Though it was said that because of Hope Gu, Ren Zu was able to escape from the predicaments, he was still old and without strength nor wisdom. He couldn't hunt. Even his teeth were falling out, he could not even chew the fruits and vegetables he gathered. The Human Ancestor could feel death approaching. Hope Gu said to him,
"Human, you must not die. If you die, your heart will be lost, and I, Hope, will lose the only place to live."
Who would ever wish to die? But the heavens and earth wanted me dead. I could not die.
There's always hope. As long as you can catch lifespan Gu, you will be able to live for more years.
Having heard of lifespan Gu, Ren Zu waved his hand.
When lifespan Gu stays still, nobody can detect it, and when it flies, it is even faster than light. How can I possibly catch it? It's too hard.
Hope Gu then told the Human Ancestor a secret.
Human, don't ever give up hope. Let me tell you, on the northwest corner of this continent, there is a huge mountain on which you can find a cave. Inside the cave lived around and a square Gu bugs. You just have to subdue those two, and there won't be any Gu in this world you cannot capture. Even lifespan Gu is no exception.
The Human Ancestor had no other choice. This was his last hope left. Through many hardships, he finally found the big mountain. Then he had to take even more risk to swim up to the top. With the last of his strength, he made his way into the cave. The inside was pitch black, one would not even be able to see one's fingers. Ren Zu walked through the dark. He sometimes bumped into things, not knowing what, and they hurt him badly. Other times, he felt like the darkness was so vast, like the world itself, where he was alone. He spent a lot of time, but could not get out of this darkness, let alone defeating those round and square Gu. He was getting delirious when two voices spoke to him from the darkness. One said,
"Human, you wanted to capture us? Go back, for even if you have strength Gu with you, it would still be impossible."
"Human, go back, and we will spare you your life. Even if wisdom Gu would help you, it's not guaranteed you will find us."
Ren Zu lay on the ground, exhausted. He was panting.
Strength Gu and Wisdom Gu had both left me a long time ago. I do not have much lifespan left, so this might be my last act. But as long as there's hope in my heart, I will not give up.
Hearing what the Human Ancestor said, the two voices fell silent. After a long pause, one of them finally said,
"I understand. Human, you have already given your heart to Hope Gu. You will never give up no matter what."
The other continued,
"In that case, we shall give you a chance. As long as you can say our name, we will allow you to use us."
Ren Zu was baffled. To find out two names from all of the words was like finding a needle in the middle of the ocean. Not to mention, he had no idea how many words were in their names. The Human Ancestor asked Hope Gu, but it did not know the answer either. Without any other options, he patiently listed out all of the names he could think of. He talked and talked, wasting a lot of time, but the darkness did not answer. His breathing was getting weaker. Here inside the dark cave, he turned from an old man to a dying man, like the sunset, already sunken halfway below the horizon. The food he brought with was running out, and his brain was running slower and slower. He barely had any strength left to talk. The voice in the dark advised,
"Human, you are about to die. We will let you go. It's your last moments. You should get out of this cave and take one last look at the world. But you have offended us, so as punishment, Hope Gu shall stay here to be our friend."
Putting his hand right on his heart, Ren Zu immediately refused.
Even if I die, I will not give up hope.
Hope Gu was truly touched, so it used all of its might to answer Ren Zu's call, and started emitting white light. Sparks could now be seen on his chest, but they were too weak to cover his entire body, let alone chasing away the darkness. Yet, from Hope Gu, he felt a new surge of power gushing into his body. He continued to speak out more names. His mind was getting muddled. Lots of names he already said were repeated, wasting a lot of time and effort futilely. As life went by, his time was reaching the end. Finally, on his last day, he set out the word regulation. A long sight came from the darkness, a voice spoke.
Human, I admire your perseverance. You have said my name, so from today onwards, I will obey your commands. But only with my brother can I aid you in capturing all the goo in the world. Otherwise, with my ability alone, it is impossible. Thus, you should give up. You're about to die. Best take your chance to take a last look at the world.
The human ancestor shook his head with determination. Making most use of his time left, he tried to guess the other goo bug's name. Seconds and minutes went by and he now only had 1 hour left. But it was right at this moment when he accidentally blurted out the word rule. The darkness immediately vanished. The two goo appeared before him. Like Hope Gu had said, one was square, called regulations, the other was round, named rules. Together, they make up rules and regulations. The two goo then said simultaneously,
No matter who it is, as long as they know our names, we will listen to them. Human, since you know our names, we will serve you. But you must remember, the more people know our names, the more people we will have to obey. You are now the first to have captured us. Speak your request.
Ren Zu was overjoyed.
Then I order you both to go and catch me a lifespan goo.
Rules and regulations, two goo combined their efforts and captured an 80-year lifespan goo. The human ancestor was already 100 years old, but once he consumed this goo, the wrinkles on his face vanished, his limbs gained strength once more, and his body was exuding the breath of youth. He jolted onto his feet, ecstatically looking at his body, knowing that he had regained the body of a 20-year-old.